Let's go!
It's time. Dude, it's been a while since I've done one of these. A Resident Evil tier list. I think since then, RE Village and possibly Resident Evil 4 Remake and Requiem have come out. Let's see what's on here that I have not actually played. I haven't played enough of that. Haven't played enough of that. Haven't played enough of that, that's for sure. Played it. Haven't played much of that. Granted, I don't think any of the ones that I have chosen to not play are gonna stand a God's green earth chance of making it anywhere close to a Resident Evil top 10. The only one I haven't gone through entirely is Revelations. One, I've played half of it. I got to the point where, like, the captain's ship of the boat, I can't remember where the hell that was. Let's just start putting the ones that I think will have placement on my personal top 10. And yeah, if I was to talk myself through this, starting off with number 10, RE2, RE1. People say, why not RE1? Come on, dude. Bro.
Hey, what's going on?
Jill? Is that you, Jill? What happened?
It's RE1, okay? It exists. The problem is that it's rendered null and void by this shit, dude. And here's the thing. It's like, you might say that about RE2. No, I don't agree. You might say that about RE4 Remake to RE4. No, I do not agree. I think this is a good top 10. I think if I'm in my favorite Resident Evil games in a top 10 situation, RE2 OG, RE2 Remake, RE1, 4 Remake, RE7, RE8, Requiem, 5, and Nemesis. Believe it or not, people were like immediately number 10, RE5, right? RE5 gotta be number 10. No, my take on RE5 is that, yeah, it's not a great Resident Evil game, but it's still a great game. Is it a great single player game? Hell no. But it's arguably one of the best co-op games that they've ever made. I played a lot of that game, dude. I played a lot and really enjoyed that game. Granted, I've never played Resident Evil 5 without friends. I think we discussed this before, but RE5 is just a great time. It's a creatively bankrupt Resident Evil 4. It's just RE4, but worse. But the problem is that you're comparing it to Resident Evil 4, which is one of the greatest goddamn games ever made. I don't put RE5 at number 10. I actually put RE3. And I think Resident Evil 3 is a fun game, but I like Nemesis as a pursuer. I think he's the most powerful part of the game. I just do not love the level design in RE3 that much, unfortunately. It's like RE2, I found it just to be way better overall as a game, and RE3 to me always felt like a not as good version of RE2. I think a lot of people get attached to it because it's a more explorable Raccoon City, which is, yeah, it's still very fun. Like, it's not like it's a bad game by any means. It's a top 10 Resident Evil game, easily. But still, it's like, I don't absolutely love it, you know? I still think it makes it top 10, at least for me personally. Nemesis is a great antagonist. He stays throughout the entire game as the antagonist. You know what I mean? I think the next game in this top 10 probably goes to Village. RE Village was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I went back and I watched my playthrough of it just to see like moments that I kind of forgot. But it's a really enjoyable, like, it's like a haunted house. The way it is portrayed, like in the same way that you progress through a haunted house, you sort of progress through Resident Evil Village, sort of like that. But instead of a fun house being explorable and interesting, it sort of plays out like the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. It's a lot different. It has a lot of crazy set pieces and shit, and it feels like it really is trying to go for that the entire time. A lot of wild vampires and werewolves and shit. It comes across as kind of forgettable, sadly. I remember certain moments of the game, but I had to go back and watch my playthrough, and I watched my conclusion of the playthrough, and I really enjoyed it. I actually, at the end of that game, it had a really great ending, like a great ending. Like, I was legit clapping and like happy at the end of playing Village. I remember really enjoying it, but as time went on, it sort of became a little, that game happened, I guess. I kind of forget that Miranda was even the main bad guy of the game at times. Enjoyable. Like, most memorable thing ever. Do I want to play through it immediately? Not necessarily. This is tough. I'm trying to think of where I go from here. I think at this point, here's where RE5 gets as far as it goes. And it's just because it's just a really fun game. RE5 has such memorable moments. It arguably has the best antagonist of every single one of these games. It helps that its characters are great. Shev is great. Chris is great. It doesn't lean into the cheese schlock of like being overly serious that Resident Evil 6 does. Wild ass dumb volcano shit, like insanely over the top bosses. Like the co-op bosses I legit like, man. I really had a great time with like the flamethrower boss and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's intense. Like, everything about this game is designed for co-op, and I would not ever grade it off of a non-co-op experience ever. But because of it, it's like every single time I play it with co-op, it's a great time. We're just having such a good time playing the game. It's a breezy game to play too. It's just very fun. With Resident Evil games, one thing about them that is quintessential for a lot of them is replayability. Kind of a big deal. I think the next spot, now that I look at this, the problem is it's almost cheating. And this is a me list, right? No, I don't think Resident Evil 7 goes as number 7. And that's the issue with that is that it was a VR experience for me. I lived that shit. So it was like one of the most memorable games I've ever fucking played. I think the next game on this list at this point is probably Requiem. Does it beat out OG Resident Evil? Does it beat out RE2? Either one? Does it beat out RE4? Either one? Not for me. I think the Grace sections are some of the best Resident Evil in the entire franchise. It's like 10 out of 10, pretty much as good as it possibly can get. But the Leon sections? No. Leon's insanely fun from a gameplay perspective, but the stuff that he gets to do with his gameplay is only okay. And the areas that he gets to exemplify his gameplay, it's like an 8 out of 10. It's really good, but it's not like, it doesn't hit the quality of some of the Grace sections, man. I love the Grace sections, dude. When I put it in comparison to all the RE2s and all the RE4s, I think it's really good, but it doesn't hit the same levels as some of these other ones. This is where I think RE7 goes. And the problem with this one, why these ones could have been interchangeable for me, is because VR. It's almost unfair, my dude. My experience with RE7 the first time is in VR, man. I lived that place. I survived. That wasn't just a game where limited enemies, you know, the tanker in the end sucks. It was such a magical game for me, dude. And that sort of like changes that experience. This game very much relies on all these other games being great for this one to be really good as well, which is fine. It is fine. But because of that, it's like Resident Evil 7 was a fairly transformative game for the entire genre. The newness of 7 was just like, god damn, dude. Everything that was so new and weird, like I cannot believe this is what Resident Evil can be. This is so, it was fresh. And even RE Requiem has a ton of Resident Evil 7 in it. Like a lot of the parts that make RE Requiem also very good is because of what was established and made in RE7, man. The same director, like so much of the blood that made Requiem very good in the Grace sections is because they established this shit in RE7, dude. So it didn't really have that like freshness. Then VR of Resident Evil 7 is crazy to me, man. Like that shit's insane. So you guys are calling it already? RE4R. God damn, what a game. It's just great. But when you pretty much nearly 1-to-1 make Resident Evil 4, of course it's still gonna resonate because Resident Evil 4 is just one of the greatest goddamn games ever made, bro. Nearly 1-to-1 that shit with better graphics and controls. It's like cheating. The formula of RE4 is just so powerful. Crazy you decide to remake one of the greatest games ever and it turns into one of the greatest games ever again to many people. It's like, of course. So I like it. I really like it. Gameplay-wise, we just played it again in a randomizer. It's really fun. And yeah, I don't think there's much else to be said. This is actually mad tough. Okay, I think I got it. This is actually racking my brain. I think the number 4 best Resident Evil is RE1 Remake. Still being really good, infinitely replayable, very fun, quintessential of like the OG Resident Evil classic style. It has some slow parts, takes off the basis of Resident Evil 1. So in the exact same moments of Resident Evil 1 not being as good, I don't love the shark area very much. Some parts of this one I really enjoy playing through, and some of the outdoor areas, I'm like, these are okay. I've played through this probably the most of, at least on stream, I've played through this a shit ton, man. I think it's just the quintessential remake. Pretty much invalidated the OG game. Here's the thing. I was having a really tough time figuring out what number 4 and number 3 were gonna be. And believe it or not, that's where that goes. Because as I've like gone back and investigated some of my thoughts and some of the impact, I think this is where I'm currently feeling, but I think I put OG RE2 at number 3. One of the most hyped games ever made. Just absolutely flabbergasted. But also was just Resident Evil 1, but better. Oh, we can give you RE1 again, but just with a way better scenario and for it to be more fun. The reason why I also put it above Resident Evil is that I think it is one of the most enjoyable games to play. Like RE2 still to this day is such an easy game just to enjoy, just to sit back and play. Anytime I can play RE2, it's just one of those quintessential, like one of the best games. But as time has gone on, I think I have gained an even deeper appreciation for RE2 Remake. It doesn't even invalidate the original. However, I think as time has gone on, the way Resident Evil 2 sort of reinvented how over-the-shoulder Resident Evil could be, while it remaining spooky and somewhat actiony, at the same time, I really dig that they went for that they tried to do that they were able to land and execute that way. I think as time has gone on, people nowadays really look at Resident Evil 2 as just being godlike. And to me, it's like, yeah, the basis of it is RE2, but these are two completely different games, man. I do like the scenario stuff way more in RE2 OG. I really do. But something about like Resident Evil 2 being as fucking spooky as it is, playing through that shit, the escalation of the events that happen throughout, the portrayal of characters, like everything, it's just so good, man. To me, it's like, in some ways, a complete reevaluation of what Resident Evil 2 can be. And I really appreciate that. I think I appreciate how bold it was and how much it lands just in general. And shocker, Max thinks Resident Evil 4 is number 1. I think RE4 is number 1. Do I even need to say anything, dude? It's RE4. I think it's my number 3 favorite game of all time. Period. So of course it's going to make the top of the list, you know? This is the biggest twist for me because I think in any other historical fashion, this could have been like this. But in my current moment right now after beating Requiem, I think where I currently stand is right here. My feelings change. Granted, my feelings for top 1, I don't think will ever change. Much less like Resident Evil 7 also getting top billing is probably never going to change because of VR. But my personal feelings on like where things overall land will change quite a bit as over time. I'm not solid in the exact same way I feel the way I said things back in the day. RE tier list from 2020, 6 years ago. And like I said, these top 3 games, specifically Resident Evil Remake, RE2, and Resident Evil 2 Remake, RE7 went there. Some things are just mixed around a bit, but damn, I'm actually pretty consistent. The 2 to 4 switched places, but they still were consistent. It wasn't like I'm completely reevaluating the entirety of this list. Damn. Now that I'm thinking of it in my head, let's do this right here. Lock it in. I evaluated in my head. RE2 is a breezy, fun game with a ton of hype around it, but this shit made remakes. Like it literally did. You should still include RE6 with the negatives around it. Fuck you.